Hello, my name is Aaron. I do rants and reviews, and this is a review of the Shields Up wallet phone case. All right, so before I got my Pixel 3, I actually was using a Nexus 6. It is now currently my backup phone, which I use as a camera. And this is the case I had it in, which is your standard wallet case. And I like the convenience of having everything in one place. However, it was a bit large, as you can see here. The Nexus 6 is not a small phone by any means. So that was kind of inconvenient for me, which is why when I saw this case for the Pixel 3, I thought it would be a good compromise since it's essentially a two-in-one. Now, these thoughts are going to be mostly unscripted. I will do my best to put chapter markings so that you can skip to any relevant sections that if you so desire. And as I showed in the intro, it is two pieces, so you can easily separate it like so. And I'll go over both of them together here. Now it does come with a wrist strap because it is rather large, so if you have smaller pockets, you might still have trouble fitting this in your pocket. So it comes with the wrist strap if you want to go full Wii remote status, and that's an option. I don't use this. I don't even really use them on my Wii remote. Nintendo probably hates me. But anyway, so you can open this with one hand, just like this, or you can open it with two hands. You kind of just get used to it, the muscle memory, and it becomes pretty easy to just slide it open like so. And while it's in its phone case, combined form, it still is a bit bulky. You do have enough room to reach the fingerprint sensor, so that's good. It means you can very quickly unlock your phone. If you have larger hands or fingers, this might give you a bit of trouble since it is recessed quite a bit there. But for my hands, I'm able to do that just fine and unlock it. Now, with the camera, it does have a hole so that you can shoot pictures. However, depending on the alignment, the magnets don't always line up properly. So you just want to be aware of that so that you don't catch any of the case in your picture. I've found that it's easiest to separate it if I'm specifically going to be taking pictures of something. That way I don't have to worry about that being covered up or any shadows. Now, in its separate form, you have this really convenient, just minimal case. It still has the magnets attached to it, so you can attach it to a mount, you can attach it to your fridge, you can do a lot of random things with it. But it's got magnets. Now, does this work with wireless charging? I'm sure that's a question that a lot of people have, and let's answer that. So here is a wireless charger, and here's this, and yes. So yes, but with a caveat. I had to remove the metal puck from the inside, which I will demonstrate right now. So here's my lovely phone. It's not pink, so don't call it pink because it's not pink. I'm kidding, it's totally pink. That's just the name of the color. So inside of the case, there's a small metal disc, which is intended to be used for magnetic mounts. However, that disrupts the wireless charging. So what I did is just cut a small sliver there with a box cutter, and I pulled it out with some pliers, and it does leave kind of a small indentation, but with that removed, you now have the ability to charge your phone wirelessly still. Granted, I have noticed that it depends on the strength of your charger. So if you have a slow trickle charger or just a weaker charger, it will not work. You need one that's kind of high capacity. So just something to note, but you can get this to work with wireless charging. At least I have been able to get it to work reliably. So there is that. Obviously, you've got space for your USB-C charger there as well, and cutouts for the mic and camera as usual. In this form factor, it's a lot more convenient to unlock since the inset is not as deep. And then you've got your buttons here. They are covered up, and they're very easy to press, so you can easily switch the volume and such from the side buttons. So there's that. Now, over here on the wallet part of the case, you've got a couple different pockets here. You've got 3 pockets for cards or whatnot. So as you can see here, I've got some demonstration stuff because I don't want to show anyone any numbers, obviously, because it's the internet. And then you can fit bills in this pocket. It's not ideal. You have to fold them at least in half. So you can fit them there, but it is a tight fit, so you're really not going to be able to fit all that much there. But you can if you need to. Now, something to note is that each card that you put in will obviously increase the thickness of the case. I typically only keep 2 cards in here because if I put a third one, it just becomes way too fat for my liking. And additionally, I have a screen protector on my phone, which is tempered glass, and so that also adds to the thickness. So all of that combined, as you can see here, makes for a fairly thick sandwich. So if you want a more minimalist case, then you can just leave maybe your ID card there and just leave the rest empty. However, you can fit 3. It's just know that it's going to be a pretty snug fit, but this will still close and all of that. Yeah, so overall, I think I paid around 20 USD for this. So overall, I'm pretty impressed. I like the ability to just separate them and things like that. It's really convenient. Last thing to note is that it doesn't have a cinema mode or anything like that. There's really no way to kind of turn this into a stand like many cases do. Yeah, so you don't have any way of turning this into just a way to view your movies. So if that's something that you need in your case, you might want to check out another one, because I haven't found a way to reliably make this work as a TV stand. Yeah, that's not going to work. But anyway, back to my final thoughts here. I really like this case. I think they make it for a few different models of phones. I've seen some for iPhones. And again, I did get it to work with wireless charging, which is kind of one of my main reasons for getting this phone at the time that I did. But I really like it. So I would definitely recommend it if you are in the market for a wallet case or something that can be a bit more functional. For example, when I get home, I usually take off the wallet part of the case, leave it with the keys, and then I can just have this when I'm around the house, and it's a lot easier to manage. So yeah, that is my review of the Shields Up Pixel 3 case. I hope to see you again in another video. Once again, you've been watching Rants and Reviews. Take care. Bye.